Classify the biotic and abiotic components by dragging and dropping the given options onto the table respectively. Between the biotic components. The image on the screen shows the interdependence between the biotic components. From the image, a feeding relationship and an interrelationship for space, shelter, and reproduction is observed between the biotic components, plants and animals. Along with biotic components, abiotic components like air, water, soil, etc. also show interdependence. All the organisms in an ecosystem obtain energy from food. For all the living organisms, sun is the main source of energy. Plants obtain this energy through the process of photosynthesis. Animals do not get energy directly from the sun. They indirectly depend on plants for their food. Herbivores or plant-eating animals depend on plants for food. Carnivores or flesh-eating animals depend on the herbivores for food, and it goes on like this with decomposers at the end. When scientists studied the way how energy moves through ecosystems, they used the term food chain. A food chain has 3 levels. They are producers, consumers, and decomposers. Most of the plants, algae, etc., which depend on sunlight to make their food, are called producers. All animals fall under the category of consumers. The category of consumers is again classified into 3 groups, namely primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. This is clearly shown in the image. From the image, grass is a producer. Rat depends on grass for food, so it becomes the primary consumer. Next, the snake consumes the rat and therefore it falls under the list of secondary consumer. Next, the snake is in turn eaten by the hawk. So these fall under the category of tertiary consumers. Eventually, after the death of tertiary consumers, they are all decomposed by microorganisms and form the base for the development of grass again. This cycle is repeated. There exist several food chains in nature.